Welcome back, guys. Another episode here. It's been a while. It has, hasn't
It actually has been a while.
Got a new guest today.
We've had a lot of guests pull the pin last second, which is not nice.
All
but
Ali's
we're
fault.
coming after you.
All Ali's fault. More guests rock up, see?
Oh yeah. It's actually James. Who's James? No, we actually do have a few guests lined up
we
now.
do.
So yeah, hopefully a few new episodes coming out soon. Today we are very lucky to be joined by Lucas Inglese, a up and coming again. We'll get into his story
National team
soon.
player.
Yeah. And he's also faced a bit of adversity too, so we'll get into that, have a chat. Before we get into that, bit of housekeeping. Matteo,
As you love to
take it
say.
away.
So we've started the YouTube channel now. So if you could jump on, support that, like, subscribe, share, do all the stuff that you need to do. Our socials, everything like that. We're gonna get some really big guests on coming up. So make sure to subscribe to all our channels and follow, like, and keep up to date with everything.
Yeah.
And all good.
You done?
Housekeeping done. Let's get into it.
So, I heard you're actually a bit nervous today. Is that true?
That's very true, yeah.
How'd you
It's the first time doing something like this, so
Oh, is it?
yeah.
How'd you sleep?
I slept alright.
Yeah.
Few.
Ali doesn't sleep before podcast.
Yeah.
I set a couple of alarms just to make sure I don't miss it, but yeah, all good.
So I guess we'll start from the start as we always do.
Well, that makes a bit of sense, bro.
I mean, I was like a career mate, smart up.
Oh, sorry.
So I guess actually, this is a bit of a background first.
Yeah.
So how old are you? Where do you play?
Alright, so I'm 19 years old. At the moment, I'm playing at South Melbourne in the 21s.
Mm-hmm.
Had a few senior opportunities in pre-season, but at the moment haven't officially made a debut as such in senior football.
Yeah, cool. So where did you start playing? How did it come about?
Yeah, so I started when I was about 5 years old, 5 or 6. Started playing at Avondale, just locally, with my brother, and we played there for all of 12 years. And then during COVID, as COVID hit, things started to sort of go in a different direction there. So we both made the move over to South Melbourne, and ever since then, I haven't really looked back. Yeah.
So I don't know if this is the rumor I hear, but apparently you're the better brother out of the Inglese brothers. Is true?
That's definitely
true. Can you confirm?
I can confirm with your
There you go,
team's
it's
Chris. Sorry
official.
about that.
Confirmed. Sorry,
Confirmed.
Christian.
Sorry, man.
You're a good bloke, but apparently he's better than you. So.
I am.
So what got you into football? Was it seeing your brother play? Obviously being younger, or?
Well, we actually started at the same time, so
Okay.
I won't get into it too much because he spoke about it. But yeah. We used to go watch our dad play just locally, and then that sort of brought our love for the game because we'd never actually watch. We'd actually just be playing on a pitch.
Yeah. So I guess from there, you've come up the ranks. Now you're at South Melbourne. Also, I've heard that you had a little stint in the national team.
I did, yeah.
Do you want to take us through that? How did that come about? How did you get picked? What was it like?
So originally I was picked from the schoolboys team, the Victorian schoolboys team. There was a tournament up in Brisbane in 2019. And from that, they told us at the start that 18 or so players will be picked for an Australian schoolboys team, which will go overseas in January of that next year. So played that tournament, did pretty well. We ended up coming second. And from that, I got announced as, the 16th or 17th player, and I was stoked with that. Like, that was massive for me. And then it was just about getting prepared for January to go overseas with the Australian schoolboys team. And just before going over there, about a week before I was training, I rolled my ankle, sprained it. One of the worst ankle injuries I've had. And I literally went there and I was like, nah, I'm still going to go. I'm still going to do everything. So I strapped it, all that. As I got on the plane, all good. But when I got off the plane in England, in Manchester,
Blew
balloon.
Yeah.
And I was like, shit. I didn't want to tell these guys. I was fuck, what am I going to do?
Yeah.
Do I tell them? Do I be honest? Do I tell them when I did it? So I just thought, we'll just try and get through it, strap it up and see what happens for the next 4 weeks.
And what happened?
So basically, we played against teams like England, Scotland, Ireland. These are all actual national teams that we played, not schoolboys teams. We lost to England 1-0, ended up beating Scotland 3-2. That was a crazy game, and then lost to Northern Ireland. But that experience was surreal. We saw things like St James Park where the England national team train, and that was insane.
Crazy. What did you think? I mean, obviously playing massive teams like that, national teams. what was something that stood out for you in terms of, was it something quality, was it physicality, what was it that really stood out?
Probably more just the pace of the game. Coming from NPL to national sort of thing, it was just the pace of the game and how quick, and even their thinking. Their thinking 100%. Is just so much quicker than what I was doing at that time.
Definitely.
Yeah, definitely.
I was going to ask you also, well, you were a centre back, yeah?
Yeah.
How did you find that? Like, obviously, going overseas was a lot more physical as a centre back. Do you have to be more tactically do you have to adapt to the way they sort of played, or?
Sort of, yeah. You have to sort of get used to the way the coach wants you to play. Also, not even just overseas, but the way a different coach wants you to play. So I was more that centre back who would like to drive with it, look for a diag every now and again, split the midfield. But over there, it was very much just, hit your fullback, let them do sort of thing,
Did any opportunities come out? Like, was there any sort of people looking at those games? Or
there were definitely people looking, and I got a few things, but nothing concrete, like no official academy offers or anything like that.
That's fair enough.
Was it, because I know we sort of, when we went and played a tournament overseas for the first time in Europe, me personally, you get a bit of confidence depending on how you play, right? You sort of think to yourself, oh, you know what, I can do this.
Yeah.
Did you have that happen to you?
Yeah.
Or was it more like a humbling, oh fuck?
No, it was a bit of both. But when I came back, I felt super confident, and that was the season when COVID came in. We only played about 5 games, but I had started the season so well that year, and obviously COVID ruined the momentum. But yeah, I felt really good coming back when I came back, and I was hoping to achieve something in that sort of year.
Well, I feel that's an interesting point, because I feel like coming back from Europe, you feel like here, you're miles ahead in terms of just thinking, your professionalism, everything. You see things differently. But then when you're there, I feel like it's just a roller coaster, because you get your confidence up, and then you come up the next week against the top team, and you're like, shit.
Yeah, I know.
Now this every week it's whereas in the NPL you're playing, or even anywhere here, you got those tough games, but you got those games that are easy. Yeah. And you sort of breeze through. Whereas there, it's like, shit, man, you got to be on it every single session, every single game. So I feel like it's a big thing that a lot of players that have been to Europe, or let's say Europe, come back here, they set a standard. Let's say. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Then the problem is keeping that standard.
Exactly. That's another problem. Exactly right.
And then you fall into that hole that we've spoken about.
Yeah. It's a whole nother conversation that we could get into.
Yeah. So obviously, actually, we saw one of your goals a couple of weeks ago.
Oh yeah.
James, if you want to put it up here somewhere.
Put it in there.
Make sure, James,
we're not just going to tell you and then you say, yeah. What do we pay for?
I'll send it to you, don't worry.
Yeah, make sure you make, bro.
Alright, make sure. Alright, good. Because if you don't, you're out. James gone. No. So obviously, I think is it safe to say you've had a decent start to the season? After a goal like that, once you see this.
Definitely, yeah.
And now, obviously, we'll get into maybe injury a little bit. So coming from that, scoring a screamer, to now on the sidelines watching your team play, do you want to...
The joys of football.
The joys of football. What happened? How do you feel?
So basically, let's say about on the 1st of April Fool's, it wasn't a funny joke, but I tore my meniscus playing on a synthetic at Oakley. And for I think 2 weeks after I tore it, I was told I needed surgery, and then I was fit in for surgery. So 2 weeks post-surgery now, getting back into things, but still not ready to play.
How did you do it? Was it a sort of movement, or?
So I planted in the ground and sort of hyperextended and then tried to avoid contact. So it's sort of the twisting motion that did it.
Sounds nice.
Did you feel a pop?
I didn't feel a pop. I told the coach, I said, give me 5 minutes, I'll walk it off. But nothing.
Of the injury?
What do you have on film?
I've got it on film.
Nah, come on.
This guy doesn't want to put the goal in.
Put everything in this guy.
We'll put your knee in.
Yeah. But watching the team play is one of the hardest things I'll do, because you have no control over the result. And especially, it's easy when they're winning. When they're winning, no worries. But when they're struggling, when they're drawing, and when they get a couple results that don't go our way, that's the hardest part.
Because you feel like you want to help, but you can't.
But I almost feel like winning. I'm burning. Like
Same.
I'm out
True,
at the moment,
yeah.
and I'm like, mate, I just want to be a part of this shit. And
Yeah.
It's like after the game, I feel like an intruder.
Yeah.
Because I've done nothing, you
Yeah.
know, because I'm injured at the moment, and it's like, mate, I just want to be out there. I don't know.
It's
just,
crazy, man. Like that's been me for the last 7
Yeah,
months,
I
and I'm
can't
like,
imagine you,
I'm
man.
torn in between. Like, so like even if my team's winning,
Yeah.
I'll try and stay like distracted watching.
Yeah.
I'll be talking to people
Yeah,
because like I
literally,
don't want to watch.
100%.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I'm
for
watching.
sure.
Obviously, you want to support
course,
the
bro,
boys,
of
course.
yeah,
Yeah.
of course. But it's like it still hurts.
100%.
Even when they win, it's like you said, you walk into the
It's
stadium.
not like you feel obviously good for your team,
Yeah.
but you want to be. You feel a bit like left out. Let's say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
For
obviously-
me, it's always that like
part of it.
fear.
You gotta-
It's always that fear of like being forgotten.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like the team's on a high, and then you're just sort of just there.
And that's one thing, like, obviously you can relate to this, but I was actually having this conversation with my girlfriend the other day. This is weird, but I was saying how in football, everyone sees like the glamour of whatever you play at, but you know, they're superstars. But I go, see, like things like this, injuries, you're part of a squad, but you're very isolated at the same time. Like,
Yeah.
I'm saying if you're at the top level,
Yeah, yeah.
this is a bit different, but you know, you could be on a high like yourself, and then now you're near the senior squad,
Yeah.
injury happens. Not that you're forgotten about, but you have to
Drop
do the work.
down.
You're up. It's
Yeah.
up to you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it becomes a mental battle with yourself that people don't see. They just think, oh yeah, this guy, you know, he's a soccer player. I don't want to
Yeah.
get it. Whatever. So I feel like that is something that it's hard, man. When you go through that, especially yourself being young.
Yeah.
But look, man, I'm sure you got a lot of years ahead of you.
Yeah, I got the right support too. So
Yeah.
That's important.
yeah.
So I guess what's next for Lucas Inglese? What's the goal? What's the dream? How far are you gonna take it?
The dream would be to play professionally, whether that be here or overseas, anywhere. But obviously, got to get myself right this year.
Yeah.
Try and break into a senior squad here somehow, and then hopefully from then on, just keep pushing.
Is there, I guess, would you actually look into trialing overseas? Is that something?
Definitely, if I had the right people to go see and trial
so
with, yeah,
Our people talk to your people, sort of.
yeah, I definitely would.
Hey, he's a Verratti, yeah.
Have you, apart from the schoolboys, have you had any other like trial experience overseas or?
Nothing overseas. That was the first time I'd actually been overseas. So
Oh,
to go
wow,
overseas for football in general, that was crazy.
Were
It
you
was-
based in London?
Yeah, I was based in London, but we also went to like Scotland, Wales, and Ireland.
Oh, so he's actually
So
playing
we
in
went,
their own country.
we did like a
Oh,
tour,
nice,
yeah,
nice.
type of thing.
Was there any players that you versed that have now like turned professional
There's players I played with who are playing in the A League,
or? Okay.
but I don't really know any of the names from the overseas boys.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah,
Interesting, man. It's funny how, like, it puts everything into perspective. I reckon a tournament like that. Like you hear, you dream about it,
Yeah.
and then when you go there, it's a whole nother.
It's
a whole
exactly
nother.
right.
Yeah.
It's like, for example, when we went and we were versing the likes of Real Madrid, you know, Panathinaikos, all these clubs. It's like I'd love to see a lot of where these players are now, because it
Yeah.
shows you
Yeah.
how like hard it is to make it.
yeah,
Like even they used to tell us, it's like these Real Madrid players. There was 11 of them or whatever there was, like in the tournament, and it's like probably not even one is gonna get near Madrid
Make the
If
senior
they're
team.
lucky.
if
yeah,
they're lucky. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
it puts it into perspective, and it's like, who knows where these guys are playing now?
yeah, exactly.
And it's like it shows you how competitive and how hard
Hard
it is
it is,
to
yeah.
make it.
I actually think remember it was like 2 years before we were there. The only one that had made it was,
Morata, I think.
and no Varane.
Yeah, Varane, that's it. And was Morata playing that
I think
tournament?
so as well.
Yeah.
But yeah. it
And then
puts
you know who else played in the tournament? Do you remember him? Hashim Mastor from Milan, the wonder kid.
I don't, to be honest.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you might be a bit young, but anyway, he was meant to be like honestly. Remember him, man?
Yeah,
he
he
was
was
doing commercials
viral,
with Neymar, everything. Meant to be the next big thing.
Yeah.
I don't even know where he's playing now, to be honest with you.
I think he's in like Serie C.
He was in
somewhere.
like
There you
he was
go.
at Regina in Serie C at one stage. Couldn't even get a game there.
Yeah.
But that was like obviously mentality, and it shows, man. Like, you know, you don't want to peak at 18.
Oh no way, yeah.
That like all these people, like they've already hailed these kids at like 18, and so
Yeah.
man, give the kid a chance. Like let him develop,
Let him grow,
and then
yeah.
that's like when you see who they're gonna be, because you don't want to peak at 18.
Yeah,
And with social media and everything, people and media the way it is, it's hype.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I feel like if you just stay on your own, like stay in your own lane,
Stay in your own lane,
it's
yeah.
the best way to be.
So have you had, I guess, a few training sessions with the seniors? Obviously, you said you're like sort of on the brink.
Yeah.
How are you finding that process, trying to break in?
So yeah, I trained with them all the pre-season,
Mhm.
and then it was pretty much once a week when they needed sort of a centre back. I'd go up and train with them during the season. Breaking into that squad is tough.
Yeah.
Like I won't lie, you go into that change room and you look at the players around, you're like, there's some quality boys here.
Yeah.
And obviously centre back, it's a tough position for a young kid to come in and play at South Melbourne with the fans they got and everything like that.
They're doing well. Aren't
Yeah,
they?
like
As well. It's hard to break into a
that's
team
what I'm
that's doing
saying,
well.
Yeah.
They're second on the ladder, flying at the moment. Players are coming back from injury, so it's even harder. But yeah, at the moment, just doing my best to get my knee right, and then we'll see what happens from there.
How was the change room experience walking in? For
That
the first
was that was scary because it was COVID. It was 2021 when I first got the opportunity to train there. They were in the FFA. It was the FFA Cup at the time. Now it's the Australia Cup.
Yeah.
But they were playing against Melbourne City in a few weeks, so they got workers permit things to allow them to train. So I went there one night and I walked in the change room and I was just like, whoa, like, who are all these players?
Yeah.
Like, I knew them as well, but they had no idea who I was. And I'm just like, well, I watch you guys on TV and all this stuff. And then you look at the dressing room, like they got Powerade, they got protein, they got all this stuff. They got their lockers, they've got their gym in the change room. Like it's crazy. It's pretty intimidating when you first go there. But then as you get onto the pitch, it sort of settles itself down.
Yeah, forget about all that.
Yeah,
sort of
exactly.
Did you have like a change room moment? Was there someone that like, you know, without mentioning names, was there like a, you know?
Oh,
sort of welcome to the club.
Yeah.
You know, like,
there is one. Yeah, the first year when I first went there, it's just like they just sort of he hammered me.
Yeah.
I think I gave the ball away, and he's like, you know, if you don't want to be here, you can go back to the 20s or whatever.
There's always
And
one.
that was-
There's always one.
There's always one.
Yeah,
It's got to
there's-
stand for the authority, you know.
I think you just want to hurt him
Tough
though.
they
Yeah.
are and shit.
But nah, generally speaking, they're all good lads.
That's good.
Yeah,
Makes a big difference, I found.
yeah, 100%.
And also, like, I suppose with the coach, if there's a coach that also,
Yeah,
I guess, gives you a bit of trust, obviously
Yeah.
you
Has
can see
the
something in
faith
you.
in
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Because I remember my first experience in a senior team here in NPL was at Pascal back in the day. I was only a kid,
Like military over there, man.
literally. I don't want to
No, I
mention
won't
the name
mention names,
because he's
but-
still around. But I was 16, and it was like you, like they needed a winger or
Yeah.
something for a training session. I got called up. And me being, you probably remember when I was 16, I was all about tricks.
Yeah, he's Ronaldo, man. Socks, paper.
But that's all. That's it. Like I wouldn't pass the ball off unless I did a step over, something like that. Right?
You've changed heaps, man. As a
Yeah.
player.
And I remember like I was playing on the left. He put me on the left, and we
Yeah.
were doing like a shooting drill.
Yeah.
And like it got it played into me, and it was a little bit too far to play it first time with my left, so I did a Rabona. Right.
Yeah. Oh.
The cross was fine,
Yeah.
but oh my god, he stopped the session. What the fuck? And like lost it at me, and I was like, man, like relax. Like what happened? Like it was a good cross.
Yeah.
The guy got a shot away. The
That's it,
play
man.
finished, and I ran back.
Use your
Yeah.
left foot, so you improvised.
So he gave it to me, and then I went back and lined up, and like guy went in front of me, and then it was me again. I'm like, do I do it again?
You did it, did you?
I did it again.
Fuck.
And that was it. Literally, you know what's funny, bro? Like everyone stopped that time
Yeah.
because they're like, here we go.
Yeah.
But man, at that age, I didn't give a shit.
Yeah.
Like you're just
Yeah,
confident.
that's another thing.
You know what I mean?
It's, like straight out that I get but that just tells me the mentality of people here.
You
Like,
take that
in
away
football.
from someone, man.
As
you
in,
know what I mean?
Yeah.
if that's part of like as in, this is why I find here, for example, let's say use Neymar as an example,
Yeah.
right?
Mm.
He would never be Neymar if he grew up here.
No chance.
Yeah,
because-
exactly.
It'd be kicked out of him. You're a hero. You're a this man. That's him expressing himself on the
Yeah.
field. Like it's not being a smart. Like that is not being a smart ass man.
No.
It's part of your
Yeah.
your skills, your
The way he
repertoire.
goes about
That's the way you
Yeah.
play, man. That's what makes every player different.
it. Yeah.
Like, alright, there's time and place to do it, but obviously, by what you're saying, it was a time. Like, you couldn't get your foot onto
It's
it.
just
But you improvise,
Yeah.
100%, man. Like,
100%.
you don't just say, hey, I'm going to Rabona it. Like,
Yeah.
a lot of the times it just happens. And
Exactly,
then you
yeah.
improvise.
You don't even think. It's
Yeah.
sort of just
And see, for me, that's what we've always battled with, being
Yeah.
like attacking players, is like, you feel like you're always on a shackle here, man. Like,
Mm.
that is a prime example.
Mm.
And that's the one thing. I don't know now in that level, at NPL level, has it sort of changed? Are there people coming in there with different mentalities? Because like we've been out of that
Yeah,
scene
system,
of
yeah.
whoa, yeah.
It depends on your coach.
Yeah.
Our coach gives us in that final third. It's the green
Yeah.
zone. He gives us freedom.
Of course,
You know,
yeah.
dribble there, do what you want.
Yeah.
As long as you're not
Of
being
course.
ridiculous.
Yeah, exactly right.
but
it's all within
do
reason.
what you want.
Definitely.
It's all within reason. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's good to hear because I think it needs to change, man.
Yeah.
Like
100%.
Definitely.
there's got to be that. Of course, those players need to be let their loose,
100%.
man. That's I know me myself as a player, as like an attacking player. I play my best when I'm instinctive.
Yeah.
I can sort of have that, as things come, you see things,
Yeah.
you do things. It's like you can't be too regimented.
100%,
And I feel like it's important for young players to let them express, because the more confident they get, the more you're going to get out of them.
Yeah,
It's a huge thing in football.
I wanted to ask as well, obviously you being a centre back.
Yeah.
Has there been a moment, maybe here, maybe in the tournament overseas, where you thought, I'm in trouble here? Like, this guy, he knows me, like, you know what I mean? Like,
He's got my number.
yeah, he's got my number.
It hasn't been a moment like that. There's been moments where I've been beaten and I've thought, I'm not going to let that happen again. And usually my thing is, because I'm quite quick, even if I get beaten and I've got long legs, I'm able to either
if you see
recover.
how tall this guy is, man.
I'm
reminds
able
me
to
of
recover.
like Varane or like Saliba. Can't get past
I
him,
look
man.
like Varane.
Yeah, you actually do. You do it wrong.
Um,
James, put a photo up of Varane next to him, right?
yeah.
So everyone-
Again, he laughs. Do it.
Oh God.
So then, what's like your worst nightmare as a centre back? Like,
Oh.
what's the worst striker you can play against?
Someone who's got a lot of skill. Just because as a defender, I'm not supposed to make the first move. But when they're pulling these step overs and cutting in one side, cutting in the other side, it's hard not to put a foot in.
Yeah, of course.
But you don't want to get beaten. You want to stay on your feet, force them to their opposite foot or force them wide. So that would be my thing. Yeah.
Are you like, say when I was like, well, obviously I'm naturally a striker.
Yeah.
Always loved to feel where the defender was.
Yeah.
Always like
Yeah.
that way. That would determine my
Yeah.
next.
The
sort of
closer the
move.
defender is, the better it is
Yeah.
for the attacker.
Yeah.
Do you like to give space, or do you like to get touch tight and then just sort of wrestle?
No, I'm usually one that gives them a bit of space, and then as soon as they get that touch, then I'm on them.
Yeah, yeah.
That way I can sort of be unpredictable.
Yeah.
But yeah, see now all the players watching, they're going to know that. Nah.
Write your notes.
But
When
no,
he's back.
I think that you're right with that.
Yeah.
Like, especially if you got the speed, you
Yeah.
can give them that extra yard. Because
Yeah.
you know that you can make it up.
Yeah, exactly.
And then if you're touch tight, a smart striker's just going to roll you.
Especially
you know?
when you get into that senior
Yeah.
level, they're just going to push me to the side.
100%.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I won't be able to go with it.
Yeah, it's interesting though. Like, did you find strikers in Europe different to the way they play here? Obviously, the quality is different, but
Yeah,
I suppose the approach in receiving a ball, like, did you have to think differently?
I had to be more on my toes. Like their touch was so
Yeah.
crisp. Like in one touch, they could do what a player here does in like 2 or 3.
Yeah,
Um,
100%.
they were so
That's a
quick.
Great
Yeah.
point, man.
It's
So
funny.
Yeah.
I suppose like you'd wait for a bad touch here,
Yeah,
but over
but
there it doesn't happen.
barely. That doesn't happen.
And that's another thing. They can do an action, and I've noticed this so
Yeah.
much since being back. Obviously, not at the high level, but just locally. But 14 like someone takes 4 touches to do something that a good player can do in 1 or 2 touches.
Agreed,
And
100%.
it changes the whole picture of the
Yeah.
game.
Yeah,
Just that extra pass, the extra touch, man,
Yeah.
and then it's gone.
And then it's
Yeah.
gone.
That opportunity's gone.
Situation's gone.
It's
yeah.
unbelievable, like the little details that you see. Obviously,
Yeah.
when you like with us, we look at things like that,
Yeah.
and then you look at that, you speak to someone, and you're like, "What do they do wrong?" And I'm like, "Man,
Yeah.
you're not even on the same
Yeah.
like
Nah,
you're
100%.
seeing the same picture here." But
Yeah.
it's very interesting that you say that because it's
Yeah.
so true.
Yeah.
again, being a centre back, well, the centre backs I've played with anyway, even the best ones, there's always a moment where you think, what are you doing? You know, there's always a lapse in concentration. You know, OG somewhere. Has that ever happened to you?
Yeah, it did happen last year in the grand final.
All games.
Yeah, it was the worst game for it to happen. It was 3-1 at the time. And then there's a long ball, and my keeper's come out for it, and I've come out for it too to header it back to him.
Oh,
I've headed it past him,
Great
and he
feed.
sort of then kicked it into me,
Oh,
and then the player's
God.
just gone and scored. And this is to make it 3-2 in the grand final, and we're just like, oh, fuck it.
Did you win at least?
We did win,
Nah, that's
yeah,
alright,
but
yeah,
then
you
the
can
game
have
went to
a laugh.
penalties in the
Yeah.
end. But yeah, it was the
Can't
worst
laugh about
game.
it, but
We both just looked at each other like, what are you doing?
it's one of them moments, but I swear, like you would have seen each other, and you're like, but it was too late.
Yeah, it
So I
was.
thought we're fucked.
You would have known as
You
soon
know,
as you-
like, you
Sometimes
can't
that's
do
the
anything
worst.
about it. Yeah.
Oh man, that's the worst feeling.
And I'm thinking, fuck, what a game to do it in the grand final.
Shit,
Of
but
all
it's-
games.
if you won though, people
We
have
won, we
forgotten
won.
about it. They
We won.
stress, but I know that.
Fuck.
Oh god.
Well, have you done some shit?
Not like that, but when you're watching it, I mean, we're not defenders, so we don't really put ourselves in that.
That's why
Luckily
I don't
enough,
defend, but I can't get blamed.
the worst probably thing that I've done is like being on a post and like you probably could have got in the way, but you
What, you
didn't.
pulled out?
No, as in like there's a shot coming in.
Hey,
and
I'll
it's
tell
like,
you, mate. What's the stuff? Like,
No, not
I'm joking. I'm
back in
joking.
the, no, don't worry, they know I can't defend for shit. But yeah, it's probably one that I've.
Yeah,
What about you?
me, man. Marking would be
Marking,
If
yeah.
they make me
I
mark,
still
I'll be
hate
honest with you. The
marking.
only way I could mark, I'm being straight out honest, is if I grab them.
Yeah.
Like being
Yeah.
a shifty and make sure I don't get seen, and I'd literally hold them.
Yeah.
Otherwise, man, marking, I'm a joke. Like,
I
man,
still hate
I
it.
know, because like I'm just looking at the ball, like
Yeah.
I ball watch. It's no good. That's why I'm a postman.
Yeah. So
Or
Postman.
stay on the edge of the box and
Oh.
just guard the
Or
edge of the
halfway.
box. Yeah, halfway.
Halfway.
It's like, I'll stay up.
I
Yeah.
hate marking. I prefer
So-
being in the zone that way. It comes in my zone,
Yeah.
I clear it. But
And the thing is, obviously not being big like yourself,
oh yeah,
man.
I'm always in there.
I don't really.
You
I'm always
don't have a
expected.
choice.
I don't feel like I'm gonna be able to
clear
win a
it.
header anyway.
How do you not win it?
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm always the one who has to win it. Like, and if I miss it, it's like, what are you doing? You're 6'4".
Do you even have to jump, or you just stand
See,
there?
that's the thing. Hey, with being
Probably
tall,
not.
you're
No.
expected to win on
Yeah,
this. It's being
that's what I'm
short.
saying.
Hey, how am I gonna hit that? You know, you
Yeah.
just hide in the crowd.
Imagine him marking
I
it.
can't do anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, nah.
Do you, like in Europe, like I found anyway, especially in Italy, stuff like that, like marking in the box was,
Do you remember at training?
oh man, like do you have to get that close in?
Oh.
Because I don't know what it's like now. You know the NPL, like do you go
Yeah.
zonal? Do you mark? Do you know what I mean?
Personally, I don't like zonal.
Nah, me either.
Do you like zonal?
I don't know. I don't mind zonal, but I think you need to have like
A man,
maybe
yeah.
2 max in the zone, and then the rest of them man marking.
100%.
Yeah.
Because you see so many goals where the team's zonal and they're all just watching the ball,
And
and
they're
then there's a
all
goal.
stood
Yeah,
still, and they're
exactly.
coming onto the ball.
That doesn't make
Yeah,
any
You're
sense.
never
to
gonna
me.
win the sort of
Yeah,
header.
exactly.
Yeah, no, I agree. But going back to that as well, like I feel like in Italy, man, obviously England's would be a bit different, but
Yeah.
Italy's like the
Yeah.
the art of defending.
Yeah.
And I found like that's another thing you would probably see in this training with the seniors. How do you find from going like from the 21s to the seniors training, how the intensity and like
Oh yeah.
as
the
in
speed.
we were training, I remember in Italy with the first team of Chieti, and man, it was like these guys are stepping, covering our face like from a corner,
Yeah.
marking like a training game, and it's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
because everyone wants to play on Sunday.
Yeah.
You know, everyone wants to play, and it's like, man, this level has to be every single training because
Mm.
when the game comes, it's like how we train, like
Yeah.
everyone's on it. And did you find that
I
transition?
yeah, definitely. Even just with set pieces at the end, the coach will be practicing set pieces,
Yeah.
and they'll be defending. I'll be attacking. These guys are just holding me like
Yeah,
that,
it's
and I can't get past them. And I'm
proper,
thinking,
yeah.
Jesus, like,
Yeah, what is this?
yeah, I'm thinking, what are you doing? Just let me get through.
I think that's a big thing, like that. Kids or like younger players, anyway, everyone that goes up to that next level, you're like, shit, man.
Yeah,
Like,
it
no,
becomes real.
it's not a joke anymore. You know,
Yeah.
like everything's serious, man. Everything you do is for a reason.
The whole
There's a purpose
session.
for
Yeah.
everything. It's
Yeah.
not just go through the motions.
Exactly.
Yeah, 100%.
Where I feel like a lot here, people just go through the motions.
Yeah.
Man. It's like, nah, everything we do is there's a reason.
Quality, yeah,
Yeah.
Because on Sunday, on Saturday, this is what's going to happen,
yeah,
and you got to make sure you're switched on.
yeah, exactly.
The art of defending's yeah. Are you an artist, or do you have like little things you do in the
You do a
box?
few
Do you,
Chiellinis, you know.
yeah, do you do something? Is it something cheeky, or do you?
Nah, I
No,
don't.
you
I
just
just
worry
develop
about-
because I started my career up the top of the field.
They just got that attack.
so I've
Yeah,
got that.
Still, yeah.
I'm more the art of defending in the way where I'll try and get forward maybe and try and have a
Nutmeg
shot.
on the way.
Yeah. Nothing like that. I'm not that player. I wish I could do that. I like to almost come in as a 6 sometimes when I see an attack. But yeah, I don't
There's nothing.
haven't
like,
developed anything like
no.
that yet.
So,
I
man,
think he's still a bit young.
yeah.
Give him a bit of
He'll
more
learn,
time,
he'll
and
learn.
he'll learn. Yeah.
Man, I think the worst one that I ever, like centre back,
Well, they did to you, or you.
the
did.
worst thing that they've done to me
Yeah.
in a corner is he pulled my shorts down.
He pulled your shorts down.
Like I got dacked.
Was he a flush with his bloke? or
No,
what?
no, like actually, I did say it. You know, it was in Italy. I got dacked,
Fuck me, man.
and it's like no one's gonna see. Everyone's watching the ball, yeah.
Was that? Yeah, no, that's pretty.
And I'm like, what
Was this
the?
at which club was this at?
No, it
It
was.
was all with you at the time now.
I think it might have been
Because
Chieti.
Chieti was fucked.
Yeah,
bro.
Chieti.
The
I
guy
remember
put his
him
hands
playing
over my eyes, bro.
Yeah.
I was in the corner.
Yeah.
He's fucked. I'm like, what are you doing, man?
Yeah,
not
stepping
bad.
on you.
And then he's like, bro, I'm trying to move. I'm like,
Yeah, see, that's a very
that's
Italian.
sort of.
like,
It was one of those moments,
Yeah.
but like you're like, fuck, look, man, you got to wake up here, man.
Yeah,
yeah.
Like you're either
Can
gonna
make
be
a
a little
difference.
bitch about it, or be like, fuck you, I'm gonna score
Yeah,
you. Or,
exactly.
You know what I mean? And that's unfortunately, well, not unfortunately, that's the way it is, man. That's life.
yeah.
Yeah.
You know, you got to step up to those things,
Yeah.
and you sink or swim, basically.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much. If you had to pick one player, I guess who was your idol? Who do you look up to? Who's the man?
As a defender, I've always liked to look up to Varane.
Mm-hmm.
Because
you look like-
Because I look like
Oh.
Varane. Not there's that.
Nah, nah.
Delict as well.
Delict, yeah.
I like Delict. Van Dijk's always been a good player. I've never really looked up to him. But he's a player that I started watching
Good
recently. Just
He's
the
not,
way
he's not an EPL fanboy, lads. It's alright.
just his one-on-one defending, like the way he deals with some situations, just crazy.
Yeah, just for a season, but anyway.
Yeah.
Nah, Varane, I think so.
Yeah, Varane.
He's a
Varane,
top
yeah.
player, man.
It's funny, like that whole art of defending is stuck in my brain now because like it is an art. Do you know what I mean?
Chiellini proved that.
It's so overlooked, especially.
I feel
as
like it's a bit
centre-back.
forgotten now.
Yeah, it's
Well,
like
in Victoria.
I don't know. I feel like it's dying.
But I feel 100%, and it's almost like defenders are trying to become too not elegant. I don't know what the word is. Too
21st
clean.
century, yeah.
But it's like, man, you got to have that bit of
Yeah,
nastiness and dirtiness
100%,
about
yeah.
it. It's
Yeah,
not nastiness. I don't mean like break legs, but the little bullshit, like, you know.
not even that. I think like a centre back now has become like a six.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
more
ball
about.
playing
That's what I'm
centre
saying.
back.
It's more about playing
Yeah,
than
yeah.
actually
Style.
defending.
Yeah.
It's like, what can this guy do on the ball?
Yeah, exactly.
But it's like, man, your first job is to defend.
Just to
Then
stop
worry
the
about
ball.
what you're gonna do on
Exactly,
the ball.
yeah.
So
I think like I don't know, man. Every time when I play with defenders and obviously the centre backs they get chirpy and stuff. They love themselves. I'm not gonna lie. But
stand next to a centre back.
oh no, that's what I'm saying. It's always like have you heard that Maldini quote?
Yeah, the tackle
The
one.
tackle
Yeah.
I
one.
like to make a tackle. I've already
I've
made a
already
mistake.
made a
I
mistake.
always bring that up whenever someone, did you see that tackle? I'm like, no, you already stuffed it. You know what Maldini said?
That's it, hey, you can't overdo Maldini. If Maldini said it, that's it. You get that. Well,
It's
doesn't
already
matter,
too
right?
late.
It's it.
But if I was a defender, he's the man for me.
Maldini.
Maldini.
I reckon. Like if I'm gonna look up to anyone, as much as it hurts me to say it, because I'm not a Milan fan, but Maldini's.
Look. Well, then if you're gonna say like fullbacks, you'd say Zanetti's one of them. As well.
Yeah, definitely.
Because longevity,
Yeah.
playing through eras to these players,
Yeah.
having dealt with like the Ronaldos of the time, then
Mm.
actually, like, you know what I mean? Because I feel like these type of defenders, what makes them so great is that they've gone through eras. So
Yeah.
football's sort of developed and
Developed.
changed
And
in
they've
those
stayed-
those times, and
Yeah.
they've still been at the top.
Yeah.
They've been able to adapt their game
Adapt, yeah.
because, like, say you've gone from R9 Ronaldo, you know,
Mm.
and then as like Aldini got older, you were coming up. Even Nesta was coming up against Messi,
Yeah.
Ronaldo. Totally different way of doing things,
Yeah.
modern day, you know, and they could still, you know, I remember seeing videos of Nesta tackling Messi. Well, we got done like 4-1 that game in the Champions League.
Yeah.
But man, like the goal was still like late 30s,
Yeah.
like, you know, putting in
At the top,
tackles,
yeah.
knowing
Experience,
where
yeah.
to go, you know, it's
Yeah.
just unbelievable.
Yeah.
But I feel like, it's the way modern football's gone too, but even keepers.
Yeah.
You think of a keeper back in the
Oh,
day, who would have said they're
They
looking
use
at their feet, their
Yeah.
technique? Like, especially even
Now
our
it's a
scoring.
massive
He was
thing.
like,
Yeah.
don't pass back to the keeper. Or the keeper's going, oh. Now it's like, man, the keeper has to be able to play. It's
Yeah.
part of their training,
Yeah,
like, to
exactly.
pass
Yeah.
the ball.
Yeah.
It shows you how football's evolved.
Yeah.
So I feel like the criteria to be a defender or a goalkeeper now is changing.
Mm.
We'll see.
Quickly back to your injury.
Yeah.
Obviously, you just mentioned how long you post-op?
2 weeks.
2 weeks. How was that going into an operation surgery? Was it your first
Oh,
surgery?
that's the first time I've been under the knife.
Yeah. What do you reckon?
I was scared. I was on my own because
Yeah.
you know they still have the restrictions. So I was like there for 2 hours, just sitting in the waiting room, sort of not knowing what to expect. And then when I started getting ready, I was sort of like shaking a bit. I was like, oh, this is a bit scary. And then you go into the theater and it feels like 5 minutes later you're up in the room and you're like, well,
How
did
good
they
to
even do
sleep,
anything?
man? Yeah, good to
Best sleep of my life.
How good is it?
Best sleep of my life. And then I woke up and I'm like, what the hell did you actually? I felt I was gonna say, did you actually do anything, or did you fix it or not?
It is the weirdest feeling, man.
Yeah.
Like, so that was me about 7 months ago.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. I reckon. So I was shitting my pants for a while.
Yeah.
But then, at some point, I don't know if it happened to you. At some point, I'm like, nah. You know what? Like, let's just do this. Like, you just put that game face on.
Yeah.
Oh, see, I'm the
Hurry up
opposite,
and
bro.
score.
I'd rather get out of the way. Just put me to sleep. I don't know what happened. Then I wake up. It's done.
Yeah.
I hate the anticipation.
Yeah, that was the
But
worst part.
you can't escape it. Though. That's the thing.
Yeah, true.
Like they get you in there, you know, you're gonna get undressed.
That's the
Yeah.
bullshit. And then like you go 15 different departments.
Yeah.
Put that hat on, do this, asking me 15 questions, mate. I'll go, I don't even know what that means, you know.
Same.
It's like, oh,
They're
just
asking
cut me
me-
open,
yeah.
do what you gotta do, and get me out of
They're
here.
asking me when I'm getting done. I'm like, I don't really.
Well, you
know.
are. You
No.
on crutches post? Oh,
Post up, yeah.
and you're on now walking. and
Yeah, I'm
everything,
walking
you
now. I was
do
only
rehab.
on crutches for about 3
Yeah,
days.
it's better. The more
yeah.
quicker you can get moving.
Yeah,
the better.
Mm.
Yeah, I've just been
nice.
following physio's programs, stuff
So
like that.
what's the what's on the agenda now? Like what, bit of rehab, then get back on
Yeah,
the
so
pitch?
at the moment we're strengthening in the gym. This week and next week. The week after will be straight line running, and then hopefully after that it'll be back into the training, back into full training.
Good man.
Well, hopefully we'll see you out there very soon.
I just got
Hopefully.
flashbacks of my surgery.
Yeah, you started doing that. I saw your Instagram the other day.
What?
You're doing the lateral movements now.
Now I'm alright. Yeah, but I'm saying back then, you know what the worst part was? You know, like when you're in that like waiting area, like, you're on the bed, like they just have to wheel you in.
Yeah.
Man, I'm telling you, like, cause before they wheel you in, there's all like surgeries.
Yeah.
All surgery.
You see people coming in and
yeah,
out.
man.
It's like an action night.
Yeah. But you can hear what's going on, man.
Yeah.
Like, I was hearing drills, hammering.
It's like a work zone, man. A construction site.
Yeah, people laughing.
How
I'm like,
cool.
what the fuck?
When you got wheeled into your room, were you like awake? Because you know sometimes they make you go onto the other bed.
Yeah, I had to go onto the other bed.
Did you see the screen and all that?
I did.
Mate, they had a 80-inch TV in there. I was like, oh fucking hell, put the game on. I was joking up. I was like, mate, this is like, and then like the silver bed. I thought I was in a movie or some shit. Then the gas mask comes on.
Yeah,
the last thing I remember was, you know, when they move you onto the steel,
the steel bed,
bench, whatever it
is.
They're like, oh, don't move, we're just gonna move you. And I'd like tried to get up, and the surgeon cracked it at me. He's like, just stay still. Like, shut up. You're not the one here.
Hey, I'll shut up, bro. He could stab you and kill you. His life is in your hand. Your life is in his hands.
His knees in mine, but yeah. Oh man, that was never again. Hopefully never.
Hopefully.
Hopefully that's
don't worry about that.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah. Anything else?
Yeah, I want to ask him because he's always bagged me. I'm gonna ask him.
What?
Favorite boot of all time.
Okay, no.
Last time he was giving me shit, bro. What?
His favourite question.
I'm gonna ask everyone now.
It was made in 2019. It was blue and white. It was the Nike Mercurial.
Blue and white.
It was light blue and it had a white tick.
Light blue.
Yeah, they're the ones I wore overseas. Good memories in them. 2019. 2019.
Are you getting it up?
White and blue Mercurial.
Light blue.
Light blue.
Yeah,
they're nice.
They've been my favourite.
James will show the camera. We'll show the camera.
I went overseas in them, and
chuck it up.
Nice.
they've been my favourite. I still got them. I kept them.
You're still a vape man? Mercurial man?
I can't wear them. Am I still a Mercurial man?
You still wear them? Yeah.
No, I can't wear them. They're gone. But I still keep.
Oh yeah, no. What do you wear now? Which colour?
Still Mercurials, but black. I've got black now.
Oh, black. That's a centre back.
That's a question mark if you ask me.
What do you mean, bro? If a Cherby can wear the pink.
Have you seen the state of a Cherby? He's better than a Cherby.
You want me to wear Cherby?
Yeah, you can't be wearing.
He's gonna wear Copper Mundial.
No, not that bad. Those boots are not made for anyone.
They actually like. I'm gonna hurt a lot of people here, but they're a shit boot. Look, I wore them once. Oh, your foot moves in it. Maybe it's because I've got a narrow foot, but I don't know. They're not up to my
standard. Man, as soon as I see someone wearing them, you know how people say, "Oh, it's only the Clarksy players."
Yeah.
Bullshit.
It's the ones that can't even fucking first touch.
Exactly. You're just a hack, and you know everyone says it, so you buy them, and they're terrible. Yeah. It's like wearing like.
What are you wearing these days?
Me?
You're a Mercurial man, right?
Nah, I got the new coppers, the proper coppers.
Oh, like the laceless.
The laceless ones.
You back on them?
Yeah.
I thought you weren't wearing them anymore. You said they were stretching or something.
No, they don't last long, but for me,
you just got to keep
they're
buying
good.
Them. When you're on a contract like you,
you
can afford them, man.
Nah, they were good. What about back in the day? Did you have a favourite pair?
Back in the day, I've always been a Mercurial man. I had Tiempos once, but they broke too quickly. So ever since then, I stuck with
I feel like once you find that boot that fits, man, it's just that was a hypervenom for me. But then they got rid of it.
They got rid of it.
I love the hypervenom.
Yeah,
man. Had heaps of those.
They were good.
I'm on a Puma bandwagon now.
Oh yeah?
The Ultras,
Oh yeah, they're good.
There you go, Ultras. Yeah, they're nice.
Yeah. Do you are you one of those guys that has those like big fuck off shin guards with the
No.
straps?
Growing up, I did until I was about 12 when I realised I was like, what the fuck are these things?
I was gonna say because you're talking to blokes here that wear under 12 shin guards.
They're fucking big. I've seen some of the players. They're like that big.
Remember the Ronaldinho ones?
Oh man, nah. You know what? One of the boys in my team has smaller ones than that. They're literally you can put them on.
I hate them, man. I hate shin guards.
Have you seen Tony Cruz's shin pads?
Nah,
they're like that big. They're like the size of an AirPods case. Yeah. Oh god.
Look, you know what, man? If you're gonna get kicked,
I was literally gonna say that. I've been kicked in the. I'm sure we've all had. Yeah. Directly in the shin pad, like flash. I still take the shin pad off and I've got a ball there.
Yeah, exactly.
Fuck, what's the difference, mate? You know what I mean? If you're gonna cop it, you're gonna cop it.
Really. Yeah.
So yeah.
Low socks or high socks? Here we go.
This is not like me, but high socks. My high socks
And this guy,
anyway.
are you sure you're not a winger?
He's a wing. By high, he's a winger. He's an attacker.
He's a wannabe. He wants to be. He
Nah.
wants to step
I
up.
love the high socks over the knees.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've changed now. I like them low.
Yeah, I've seen that. I'm like, that's different
There
from
you go.
Nah, because you know what? How it all started. So we're playing the Australia Cup.
Yeah.
And it was like, fuck, it was so hot, man.
Yeah.
I was literally like, you know, when your socks are that high, like just sweating through your legs.
Yeah.
I'm like, nah, this is a joke. And then like I played alright that game. And then like I'm very superstitious, a bit
Yeah,
superstitious.
same,
I'm
yeah.
like, you know what? For this season, I'm gonna try this.
Yeah.
It's good, isn't it?
Didn't last long because I got almost my ankle broken.
Oh,
so after the next game, so
Nah, I
maybe
love
we'll go back to the long socks.
Low socks all day, man.
Low
Love
socks,
low socks.
there
Jack
And-
Grealish, yeah.
and baggy
Jack Grealish.
shorts, but
Jack Grealish.
Baggy shorts.
That's your idol, isn't it?
not at
Big
all.
calves.
That's what yeah, he actually like no, he does have big cars. So you are trying to beat Jack Grealish.
Nah, definitely
Oh,
not,
God.
man. I can't stand him.
Sponsored by Gucci too.
Oh yeah. Nah, I don't. He used to be good. Not anymore.
Do you take the?
Nah, just
Oh,
strap
thanks
and
for
stuff
that.
on it,
Not like
but
that,
no,
not like
no.
that.
No
weight
headbands
to
or
it.
nothing. Yeah.
Nah, no,
That's
no
all
headbands.
good. Well, I don't strap
Bro,
my
you
wrist.
were a fucking Ronaldo wannabe.
What are you talking about, bro?
What socks? Fucking step overs.
When I was 11.
started back here.
When also everyone wanted to
We'll
be
go through a
Ronaldo.
phase.
Nah, I'll do it, bro.
Exactly. Huh?
I wanted to be fucking Matt Simon from Central Coast.
You got a bit of Matt Simon about you.
Yeah, I'm a timber half clock. No takers at all.
Terrible touch. But you play A-League for
Yeah,
500 games.
100%, man. Whole era.
Anything else before we wrap it up?
Nah, not really.
No? Do you want to have any last words?
No, just thank you for having me. I've had a good time.
No
And
worries, man. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks for coming on.
it's all right, thank
Let's
you.
hope James puts a nice edit together for you.
We'll say,
Another van pedo buddy. Edit of you.
Oh.
Jesus.
Can
You
do
say
it.
it? You say it, man?
Yeah, bro. I'm not a pedo, but bro.
It's flashback. I'm not a pedo.
That was funny.
Yeah, well, it was pretty fun. I'll give it to you. But just make sure you put the boots up,
Of
the
course.
Varane. Otherwise, man,
We need to have a chat.
I'll come after you in that, man.
We're going to have a chat, Jack.
Yeah.
What is it?
Jobs on the
Jobs on
Just
the
cut
line.
that shit out, yeah? Because fuck, I don't know, these days, bro, 2023,
Alright, anyway.
Yeah, be careful.
might identify as a cut today. Don't cut that out. I want every fucking
If you haven't already, make sure you follow us. Spotify, wherever you get your podcast from. Give us a like. Drop a comment. Instagram, Cultural Club Official, and the Almost Made a Podcast. We've got a YouTube now, like Matt mentioned, so make sure you
He'll
subscribe.
be vlogging soon. He loves vlogs, so
Yeah, maybe.
he's
Maybe
both.
do like behind the scenes or something.
He's a vlogger, man. Vlogger. He's a
Vlogger.
vlogger.
It's a vlogger. I'm not a vlogger, but I'll give it a go. But anyway,
You're not a vlogger, alright.
yeah, subscribe, like, follow. Anything else? Anything I'm forgetting? That's about it.
Nah, have a good day.
Have a good day.
Have
a great day.
Have a great Sunday. Sunday, we're filming.
When's this coming
Go
out?
to
Jay?
church. Today's gone today, alright?
That's it. Enjoy.
Enjoy. Ciao, ciao, go.
We'll see you soon. See ya.